madrasa nizamiya. He's like, I'm done with this. He's like, I'm done with this cultish stuff. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. He went to Damascus and became a janitor. Sure. But by you focusing on their external factors, what have you done? Right? You fall into exactly what you're complaining about. It's here. It's all here. It's all here. And just being very honest, it's very easy to fall into it. Yeah, but the problem is, like, if I'm being when I'm critical, guess who I'm not being critical of? Myself. And kind of like keeping to force that mirror to come this way, right? It becomes very easy. I think very naturally that mirror wants to go like this, right? That internal mirror and that internal gauge we all have, we all kind of want to like turn it this way, because what happens? It's like really easy, you know what I mean? Like when you have it going this way, it's like, haha, look how bad you are, and look how evil you are, and look how, you know what I mean? Like this not it becomes easy because everything just becomes outward at that point, and I forget who I am, and I forget the efforts I need to make on myself, and I forget the corrections that I need to implement in practice. So this is why all of these things are extremely problematic. So he talks about here, yes, absolutely, they should be. Listen, you should be proud of your Islam. You should be proud of who you are. You should be proud of your heritage. You should be proud of your accomplishments. Like, all of these things are great things to take pride in. When does it become a problem? If I don't have any of those characteristics and I show them because I want people to think that about me, versus actually having pride because this is an accomplishment that I have or that I made. Because there are two parts of it, right? Number one is having the appearance of something that I don't actually have, or even if I do have it, right? And that me flaunting that appearance, that's extremely problematic. The other side of this is like not having pride in those things either, right? Because if I'm not proud of my accomplishments, or if I'm so proud of my accomplishments that I think I deserve, this is another element. Like, you see how many ways like the shaitan can kind of creep in and ruin your intention. So having that balance is something that's really important. Like, yeah, I should be proud of my accomplishments and the things that I've done. You know, like if I did well in an exam, right, or I got a new job, like I should really be proud of that, right? Because that will help build me up for that upward trajectory. But if I'm never proud of anything that I'm doing, guess what I'm going to stop doing? I'm just going to stop doing anything. Yes. Hmm. Yes. It- yeah. It can become like a super slippery slope. He said that, all right, what if it reaches a point where you're proud of your accomplishment and then people start praising you for that accomplishment and then you start becoming more proud, right? And it just, you end up in this cycle. Yeah, that happens. I'll use the example of Ashab al-Kahf, right? So the three who were trapped in the cave, what did they do to help ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to remove the rock? They said, one of them said, I stay up all night, waiting for to give my parents milk. The other one said, he said that I had an opportunity to make zina with this woman, right? She was ready, and she told me to fear Allah, and I did. Another one said that a man gave me some wealth, I invested it, and all that my entire investment that I did well with, he's like, where's the money I gave you? He said all of this, and I did it for you, Allah. All of them said this. What does that tell us? That they what? They actually remembered, right? They remembered and they took note of what they were seeking. Like, they remembered and took note of the deeds that they did. Like, that's something that's really important because they were essentially what? Proud of the fact that they did it. So he was saying that, is it okay to be proud of our deeds, and like at what point should we, like, where do I draw the line? Like, how do I make sure by not sharing it, right? That's I think that's the easiest way, by not sharing it, because it doesn't seem like the conversation that the three of them had is something like, oh, this is something that they normally talked about. And had it not been for Allah, would that rock have moved? Right? They would have just died in the cave. So there's nothing wrong with being proud of something. I think hiding is something that's really important. Yes. So there are the three men who were trapped in the cave. No. Those were the youth that they went away to the cave, and there's a dog that that's in the Quran. This actually comes in the Sunnah. Yeah, just do a Google search. Yeah, the three trapped in a cave hadith. Yeah. In terms of what? Give me an example. Yeah. We're affected. Like, it doesn't mean that we're not affected by our environment. But at the end of the day, my accountability is not the things that I'm here. Let me put it this way. If a person, if I had three people come to me and be like, and I'm like, yo, listen, I got this job offer. I'm not sure if I want to take it or not. And they're like, bro, the job's amazing. Why would you not take that offer? So I was on the edge, but now those three people, what have they done? They influenced me. The job is halal. The income is halal. It's a good position. At the end, does that influence make it like? Does it have a negative effect on my decision? It doesn't. So what criteria should I have when I make decisions? Right. I think that might be a better question. My personal criteria. How do I determine what are my personal criteria whenever I make a decision? We have spirit. We have two spiritual tools. What are those? Istikhara. Ahsant. Good. And what is the second? Istishara. Ahsant. Right. So what can I do? I make salat al-istikhara. Right. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless my decision. I do istishara. I seek counsel with people who are appropriate for that. Right. So if I'm looking to buy a car, I'm not going to go talk to a plumber. Right. I'm going to talk to people who work in the car business, or people who sell cars, or mechanics, and be like, hey, listen, I'm looking for a car. What are some things I should look out for? After that, I make a decision, and then I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless it. Right. It's pretty simple. I need that outside input. If I don't take outside input, I'm not going to be informed. Saying that, is it possible that because of my environment and the way I was raised, I have a preference for red? Does it matter? Those things, at because now you know where my feelings and thoughts and emotions are. Because we had talked about that, like feelings and thoughts and emotions, as long as they're maintained in a particular space, it's going to have no effect on those things, right? The color, right? The certain options, certain things. At the end of the day, I already made a logical and spiritually sound decision to purchase a vehicle. Now, if I make an emotional decision, like, yeah, man, I want it in red though, and I want heated seats. I've already made the major decision. Like these small little details, at the end of the day, it doesn't really have too much of an effect as long as we understand how to control it. And the ways that we control it are these two methods. And the other way, like the other way to control it, is one sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is it halal or haram? So within these guidelines, as long as I'm falling within that space, because when do emotions become a problem? When I purchase something, if I can't afford it, and I go into debt, what have I done? Now I've fallen into something that Allah didn't permit. You know why? Because I only followed my emotions. But if I allow my emotions to manifest and to channel into specific decisions after I've made the larger decision, that's fine. I go in, I have all these discussions. Logically, I'm going to take this decision. And my emotions, now they're kind of pushing me to be like, see if you can get more for your 401k. They're offering 3%, ask for 5. The decision's already made. And these small emotional, environmental ones, they don't have an effect on the overall decision. I'm sorry? No, absolutely not. Because why? Because it's halal. You asked for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's blessing, and you sought counsel from the right people to make the decision. Um, so these are people who think they're doing good. They think they're contributing to society in a meaningful way. And the reality is that they've tied so much to the lifestyle that this is where they've deluded themselves. And the example he gives here is like not a monk in the sense of like a Christian or Buddhist monk, but he's talking about a Muslim who actually secludes himself. He secludes himself into khalwa or into a zawiyah, and all he does is worship. In the moment that someone is accused in that center or in that space of stealing, how does he feel? He is upset now because the prestige that was associated with the institution is lost. It's the same thing for anybody who joins any institute.